Thank you, Nora. So with that said, we have concluded our annual meeting obligations, and I mean what I say. We've satisfied our election and annual meeting requirements under the documents. I really want to applaud everybody that participated in this long process. I want to congratulate the new board of directors and should have a very successful, very good year in office. At this point, I'm going to ask any one of you to make out loud, say, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Nice. Is there a second? Any one of you? Thank you. Congratulations. Enzo with the second. This meeting is concluded. I'm now going to ask the 7 members of the board to please take their position on the board's dais. So I can ask the 7 members to please come forward. I just want to add one piece of information, because apparently, just for purposes of explanation, the votes that you just heard were the votes as submitted. As you recall, some people had large amounts of proxies that they were voting. Some people determined, I would imagine, not to vote those proxies. So what you heard tonight were those that voted the bulk proxies and those that voted individually. I can't explain to you why certain individuals determined not to come in as proxy holders. That's for them and for their decision, and between them and the unit owners that gave them that right. So you have to make your own conclusions. There's no way for me to give you a legal opinion on that tonight. It doesn't exist. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome board members. Look forward to working with you all. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're missing, am I doing my math? Okay, Carolina's not here. Okay, that's fine. So what we're going to do right now is, I'm going to give this to Yvonne, because you need that. Every one of you should hopefully have an agenda in front of you. There are no officers of the board right now, so I'm going to run this meeting very quickly as legal counsel and as chairman of tonight's meeting. So with that said, and I'll explain all directions here. So we're going to start by calling the meeting to order at this point, and we're going to determine roll call by a call of the board. So Jose, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you to start by just stating your name so we have it, and your first and last name so we know who everybody is. Jose? Oh, I'm sorry, Juan. I apologize. Here, use the microphone.
Hello, I'm Juan Comas. Thank you for trusting us.
Just your name. Just say your name. That's fine.
Miguel Ferrando.
Gabriel Rodríguez.
Juan Carlos Arabia.
Martín Roldán.
Luis Fernando Torres.
Okay. So thank you. So we have 6 of our 7 members. Carolina's not here tonight, so we're missing one of our members, which is fine. I just want to proceed with establishing that we have quorum. Being that management's here, I'm just confirming that we have posted this meeting. It only required a 48 hours notice, but I know we posted it and mailed it out 14 days. We have proof of mailing and all that materials in the office. Perfect. That's what I'm getting at. Thank you very much. The next item is reading of any unapproved minutes. I don't believe we have any this evening. That will happen, I guess, at our next regular Board of Directors meeting. So the next item on the agenda is appointment of officers. So I want to explain to you the process. So gentlemen, you have, as well as Carolina, 7 members of your Board of Directors. I want to make the point very clear. All 7 members of the board have the exact same equal voting rights, liabilities, responsibilities, and duties to the association. Not one of you have more or less. It has nothing to do with your title, and it has nothing to do with the amount of votes you got. It doesn't matter. At this point, all 7 of you are on the board. All 7 of you have equal rights in that regard. But we are a corporation, Doral Isles Community Association Incorporated in the state of Florida. It's a company, like any of you may be involved with companies. And as a company, we're required to have 4 officers. The officers help the board function. And they have jobs. People have jobs to serve for the board of directors. In the case of Doral Isles, we have 4 officer positions: president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer. The president is the chief executive officer of the association. He or she is the person who runs all the association's board meetings, as well as any unit owner meetings if we ever call for a unit owner meeting. The president presides over those meetings. The president is the person who interfaces with the association's management, with the association's professionals, and any third-party vendor for the association. The president is also the person typically who signs all the association's official records, contracts, things of that nature. The vice president is the person who serves when the president can't do any of those functions that I just explained. The president's on vacation, etc. There needs to be a person to run a meeting, to sign association records, etc. The vice president would be the person to stand in the place of the president when the president can't function for some reason. The treasurer is the chief financial officer of the association, not necessarily responsible for the money, but responsible for the reporting about the money, coming to the unit owners at board of directors meetings, explaining the state of the association's finances, ensuring that all the proper record keeping for the association financially is being maintained. He or she is also the person who typically works with management to prepare the annual budgets for the association and is involved in presenting the budgets to the unit ownership. The last position is the position of secretary. The secretary is the records custodian for the association. What that means is there's a list of records that the association is supposed to maintain as part of its corporate function, in accordance to Florida Statute 720, which is the statute we operate under. The secretary is the person who ensures that all those records are being properly kept by management, who's the person who keeps your records, including the minutes, the notices of the association, things of that nature, and that all those records are properly posted and maintained. That's what the secretary's job is. The secretary doesn't have to actually write notes or anything to that effect. Okay, so we have 4 positions. Those are the 4 positions. I'm going to start with asking for a nomination for the position, and then after that, one of you can make a motion. If the nomination is accepted, make a motion to approve that person. I'll help you through that. So first I'm asking for the position of president. Any nominations for the position of president?
I want to nominate to Gabriel Rodriguez like a president.
Okay. So Gabriel, do you accept that nomination? Are there any other nominations for the position of president? Okay, I'm sorry. With that said, we can make a motion, any one of you, because all of our business affairs start with a motion. So it would be to make a motion to approve Gabriel in the position of president. If you want to make that motion, all you have to say is, so moved. Do any of you want to make the motion? Just say, all you have to say is, so moved.
So moved.
Beautiful. Is there a second to the motion? Do any of you want to second the motion? Okay, so we have a second to the motion. Now we have a lot, we only need 1 second. But thank you, you guys are doing a great job. Okay, very ambitious. So we have a motion, we have a second, so we have a live item now. That's how it works. You don't need to, but gentlemen, do you have any comments on the motion? No? Unit owners, any questions or comments on the motion? The motion being Gabriel Rodriguez in the position of president. Excellent. Now, gentlemen, you can vote, and I'm going to ask you to raise your hand. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. You can vote for yourself. You should vote for okay. The motion carries unanimously. Excellent. Congratulations, Gabriel. Now, normally, Gabriel would proceed and conduct the meeting, but I'm going to ask, unless she wants to take the microphone, I can run through this kind of quickly. Next is the position of vice president. So we're going to do the same thing. Are there any nominations for the position of vice president?
I nominate Miguel Ferrando for vice president.
Okay, Okay, Miguel, do you accept that nomination? Are there any other nominations? Okay, so with that said, we need to make a motion to appoint Gabriel to appoint Miguel in the position of vice president. Does somebody want to make that motion? If you want to, just say so moved. Okay, Gabriel makes the motion. Is there a second? One of you need to second the motion? Second. Just say second. Beautiful. You guys are great. Thank you. There's a second. Are there any discussions by the board on the motion? Unit owners, any discussion? Back to the board, gentlemen, by raise of hands, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Excellent. It's a unanimous. Again, congratulations, Miguel. Okay, next is the position of treasurer. Any nominations for the position of treasurer?
Nominate Juan Carlos Sarabia for treasurer.
Juan Carlos, do you accept that nomination? Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, so with that said, let's make accept a motion to appoint Juan Carlos in the position of treasurer. Somebody want to make that motion? Gabriel makes the motion. Is there a second? Okay, Miguel second the motion. Very popular guy. With that said, any comments by the board? Unit owners, any questions or comments? Back to the board, gentlemen, by raise your hand. All those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Congratulations, Juan Carlos. Last is the position of secretary.
For the secretary, I want to nominate Martin Roldan.
Martin, do you accept that nomination?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. He seemed very encouraged about that nomination. Okay, are there any other nominations? Okay, gentlemen, we need a motion to appoint Martin in the position of secretary. One of you want to make that motion? Gabriel makes the motion. Is there a second? Miguel seconds the motion, so we have a live motion. Gentlemen, any comments on the motion? Unit owners, any questions or comments on the motion? Okay, back to the board. Gentlemen, all those in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. Motion carries. You vote for yourself. Motion carries unanimously. So now we have officers. So congratulations to the officers. Last item on tonight's agenda is the designation of bank signatories on the association accounts. Management, I just want to understand. I know, do we have a process that we typically follow with that, or is it all 7 with certain amounts, or how do we typically deal with that? The 2 signatures on each check. Okay, so the typical process has been that the 4 officers, the ones that were just appointed, will serve as the signers on the account, 2 signatures required on every check. Okay, so if that's the process you'd like to continue with, and you could always change that, but to start, let's make a motion to appoint the 4 officers as the bank signers, 2 signatures required on any check. If that's the motion you want to proceed with, one of you can just say so moved. Gabriel makes the motion. Is there a second? Miguel, you seconding? Miguel seconds the motion. Any questions on the motion? Unit owners, any questions? Excellent. Back to the board. Gentlemen, just by a raise of hand. All those in favor of the motion, please just raise your hand. Motion carries unanimously. Gentlemen, guess what? That's all business that we have for tonight. So you've now satisfied your organizational requirements. Is there any other comments?
Statement, if I could, prior to
Sure.
This community has suffered a lot over the last 5 years, 4 to 5 years. I want to personally thank each and every one of you for making this change happen. This is a new day for Doral Isles. We plan to start fresh, everything on top of the table, and done for the benefit of the community, not for any individuals and not for any individual agenda. Again, I want to thank each one of you. I want to thank everybody that's been part of this process. Thank everybody up on this table, along with all those that have worked very hard to bring this change. This is a new day for Doral, as I said, and we're looking forward to bringing Doral back to that grace and that beauty that it was once known for. En español rapidito, digo muchas gracias a todos los que hicieron este cambio posible. Este cambio es cambio de la comunidad, no es cambio de nosotros, es un cambio a un día nuevo. Y esperamos que con este cambio podamos lograr que tengamos una comunidad de nuevo bello como existía anteriormente, con gracia y con belleza que se conocía, y esperamos que llegue a ese nivel de nuevo. Empezamos abriendo, o sea, nuestro tiempo aquí en el board, abriendo los comités de nuevo para que la gente participen. Les pedimos que por favor esto no termine aquí hoy día, que la comunicación siga y que la involucración de cada uno de ustedes siga para que esto se logre. Esto no es que ahora estamos nosotros en el board y se van a cumplir las cosas. Esto funciona únicamente si ustedes están ahí participando al lado de nosotros y hablando esto junto con nosotros. Así que muchas gracias por la confianza que nos han puesto en nosotros, y esperamos cumplir con todo lo que hemos hablado y lo que hemos puesto sobre la mesa. Gracias.
Solo quiero agregar que, como dijo Gabriel, este es un gran desafío que nosotros logramos hoy empezar a construir.